Hey guys, welcome back to Doki Doki Blue Skies. If I have aimed my timing correctly, then this should be going out on Christmas, in which case, Merry Christmas everybody. Hope you all are doing well. Last time we got into the festival of Christmas with the Dokis, and Yuri might become our girlfriend. So let's see what's going on. December 31st, the last year of the day. As I push myself up, my gaze floats across my room. It looks exactly the same, save for the tea set on the desk. It's a strange way. It's like Yuri's presence is here with me. A strange feeling courses through me as I recall the shy, nervous look on her face as she handed me the gift. A feeling which only grows stronger as I recall the quiet, intimate moments we had with one another after the other girls left. Sayori caught us in the midst of getting a bunky. So, you know. It's definitely not an unpleasant feeling, but it does feel confusing. I feel warm inside, but still a foreign sensation. What exactly are Yuri and I? Yep, lovebirds. Lovey-doveys. Part of me wants to take Yuri out on a date, but, well, I don't know what to do. To ask her out. It's pretty easy. Take her out for coffee or tea seems a bit basic. But she likes tea, though. So maybe it's not such a bad idea after all. Having finished my morning routine, I find myself sitting at the kitchen table, idly scrolling through my phone. Maybe some fresh air will help me place my thoughts. That's much better. The air is a little biting, but I'm wrapped up and warm, so it feels more like a refreshing coolness. Unfortunately, I left my gloves at home, so my hands are being subjected to the full wrath of December air. Man, it'd be nice to have Yuri's hands to warm mine. Damn. Maybe I should just ask her to be my girlfriend. I mean, despite her being unsure of what we were, it's obvious that she likes me, right? How do you ask, though? Want to be my girlfriend? That's a good start. Hi, Yuri. I like you, and I think you like me too, so do you want to be my girlfriend? Nah, that just sounds childish. Sayori and I used to say this stuff to each other when we were really little. Damn. A white bow coming into a peripheral vision snaps me out of my inner turmoil. A white bow, isn't that Monica? Yep. Hey, Salty. I didn't expect to see you about. Looks like you're gone for a walk. Oh, hey, Monica. Yeah, I was in the mood for some fresh air, so here I am. Do you have any plans for New Year's? Kind of. I used to just watch the fireworks on TV with my parents, but they're not around this year. I guess I could just watch them at home. I chose not to divulge the fact that I was stuck for date ideas, at least not yet. Monica studied me for a moment. Her gaze feels like an x-ray, and I feel like she's somehow reading directly into my mind. Hey, say, Salty, would you say that fireworks could be described as romantic? Yeah, forget Paris or the Eiffel Towers. Exploding gunpowder and pyrotechnics are what come to mind when someone says romance. I laugh, but her knowing smirk doesn't move. If I were interested in someone, I think taking them to see the fireworks for New Year's would be the perfect way to start our relationship. Where's this coming from? Come on, Salty, you can't be this dense. I love how Monica is such a bro in this one. It's like she's trying to make amends for Doki Doki Literature Club. There's a fireworks display in town. If you head to the Skytree Tower, you'll be guaranteed an amazing view. They start at 10 and finish at midnight. Just a little bit of a hindsight. If a girl tells you, hey, you know, it'd be an awesome idea if you head to this one place, it's guaranteed to be amazing. She wants you to take her. She wants you to take her there. Monica's being kind of a bro, though. We can't go out with Monica in this mod, so you do have to book, but only like 430 yen. Nice way to start the new year, if you ask me. She winks at me, but I suppose there's no sense hiding it or trying to play naive. Yuri and I were pretty obvious on Christmas Day. She did a wink. I saw her wink. Trust me when I say you should take her out. You think? I know. I've said. I know. I've seen how you two have acted together over the past few months, and to be honest, it's about time to get together. Have you really been that obvious? Have we really been that obvious? A smile is my only answer. I sigh. A smile is my only answer. I sigh. Nah. Anyway, what about you? What are you up to today? Don't suppose I'll be able to see you under the fireworks tonight? Oh, Maybe with some hot-shot tennis player? I nudge her, but to surprise, she doesn't even smile. It's only when I properly look at her do I see the bags under her eyes. She snorts derisively. Ew, that's not romantic. I don't think there's much chance of that happening. Even her voice sounds a little drained. I've been busy. With what? She hesitates for a moment, looks aside for a moment. Just my parents' business. It's nothing I can't handle. Well, just make sure not to push yourself too hard, okay? I know you're our president and all, but everyone needs a break. Feel kind of bad knowing that you're encouraging Yuri and I to spend time together when it looks like you can't even relax yourself. She looks at me, surprise written all over her face. Ah, thank you, Salty. Your concern is appreciated. I try and bear that in mind. It'd be funny if she's like, here, let me give you some money. She all of a sudden just hacks into the bank accounts and just gives your character $1 billion money. It's just like The Sims and cheat codes. Don't you want a bajillion simoleons? She briefly checks her watch. Is that the time already? I got to go. Unfortunately, need to pick up some stuff from the shop for my parents. Catch you later, Salty. See you, Monica, and thanks for the fireworks suggestion. She smiled and waves, leaving me to ponder her current life situation. Sadly, I don't think we're gonna find out. I don't think that they finished the Monica route in this mod. I just hope she'll be okay. Oh well, Monica isn't my focus right now. Anyway, I dig out my phone and navigate to Yuri. Hey, Yuri.
Good afternoon, Salty. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. My fingers hesitate over the screen. Are you busy tonight?
I think I'm free. Why?
Another bout of hesitation comes on. Come on, Salty. She likes you too. Did you want to check out the fireworks with me tonight? Monica mentioned we could go to... I wouldn't mention that. I would not mention that. I would have totally stole the idea. Monica mentioned we can go to the Sky Tree Tower. I can see Yuri typing a message, but the second that ticks by feels like an hour. Awful lot is resting upon these 3 dots.
I'd love to. What time do they start?
Their feeling of relief courses through me. Makes my body feel much, much lighter. Why was I ever nervous? Monica says they start around 10 p.m. So, would you want to come over a bit earlier? We can hang out and then go from my house.
Of course. Is it okay if I come over at 7 p.m.? There are a few errands I need to run. A few bodies I need to hide.
Sure thing. I'll see you at 7 then.
I'm looking forward to it. Smiley face.
Well, all things considered, that could have gone a lot worse. Although I'm relieved, I can't help but feel apprehensive about how tonight will go. I mean, a date with Yuri? Under the fireworks on New Year's Day? We almost kissed last time, and now there won't be anyone to interrupt us. Oh man, I really hope I don't miss up on our first kiss. Ooh. Maybe I should Google it. How does one kiss? I laugh as I slip my phone back into my pocket. Man, I really need to get rid of these Christmas decorations. Well, I'll do it tomorrow. Besides, I don't think Yuri would mind. It's been a few hours since I got back from my walk. Since then, I decided to cook some salmon teriyaki. Man, that's all you seem to eat. Because I still have a surplus of the ingredients from Christmas Day. I'm still surprised at my own cookie prowess. The days of ready meals and unhealthy snacks seem so long ago. It's safe to say that Yuri has definitely changed my life. For the better. I jumped slightly at the sound of my doorbell ringing. Wow, is it really 7 o'clock already? Looks like our date is already upon us. Stay calm, Salty. Stay calm. With one last quick deep breath, I swing the door open.
Good evening, Salty.
Yuri, hey. Without thinking, I dart forward and wrap her into a hug. Damn. The sudden action catches Yuri off guard. That much is obvious by how she's startled. She eases into the gesture and tentatively slides her arms around me. She smells wonderful and feels so warm. Ew, that's weird.
Not that I'm complaining, but what brought this on?
It's only as we break apart does my brain finally catch up. I don't think I've ever been so forward with Yuri before. Did I really just do that? I don't know. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable.
No, it's okay. I thoroughly enjoyed it. You're quite a good hugger, Salty.
You too. It's a weird thing to be good at, but okay. Anyway, come on in. She smiles gratefully and steps into the hallway, closing the door softly behind her.
So we have 3 hours until the fireworks start.
What would you like to do in the meantime? This is a good question. We normally read a book or cook, right? Well, I've already made some teriyaki, and I don't think you have any books on you, right? Yeah, reading during a date is kind of a weird thing. She nods. Even if she is a... So how about we try a visual novel? A virtual novel? A VN? Oh, sorry, a visual novel.
A visual novel? What is this witchcraft of which you speak of?
Yeah, are you familiar with them?
Familiar with them? I am one!
Yes, I am, although I can't say I've tried any myself.
They're essentially text-based stories that you can play as a computer or video game, correct? With art, such as sprites.
Uh-huh, I guess they're kind of like a halfway point between the traditional method of storytelling you prefer and the manga that Natsuki likes.
I suppose that's one way of looking at them.
She doesn't look as enthusiastic compared to when we talk about a normal book, which is a shame. You don't look too keen.
Oh, I don't? Sorry, I didn't mean to look bored or anything.
She takes a moment to compose herself.
Let's give it a try, Salty. I believe it would do us well to try a new medium or storytelling. I shouldn't be dismissive just because it's different from what I'm used to.
Hey, have we played this on Doki Doki Literature Club? So what did you have in mind? I know how much a good story means to. Why am I having trouble? Well, I know how much a good story means to you, so I've got just a visual novel. Basically, it's about a bunch of students who get locked into a school, and the only way to escape is to kill someone else, and not get caught in the class trial that happens after murder. Okay, Danganronpa? I plan to play that soon. Trust me, it's full of twists, and I want to see if someone as smart as analytic as you could figure out who the murderer are in the classes. It's pretty obvious who they are, if you played Danganronpa. It really raises a lot of questions about what length people will go to survive, and the characters are fantastically written. Okay, they're good, but they're not fantastically written.
Ah, a murder mystery. Are there any horror elements by any chance?
Fortunately not. It can get quite tense, and some of the characters are fairly creepy, though. Trust me, even without horror, I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy it.
Okay, then. I'll trust you on that. Let's go.
Nearly 2 years have passed since I introduced Yuri to the game. Needless to say, it's proven to be a large hit with her. I'm surprised to be sure, but not an unwelcome one. We just reached the second trial. Wow, in 2 hours you reached the second trial? That's pretty impressive, considering all the talking. And although Yuri was keen to press on to find out who the killer was on the chapter, we have to get a move on.
A predicament. Do you risk permanently blackening your conscience in the name of freedom? Or can such an act be excused in such circumstances? Obviously, murder is wrong. It's outside of self-defense, never tolerated in society. But it's safe to say that in those walls, the regular rules of society don't apply.
Somehow I knew you'd like it. Anyway, we should probably get going soon.
Oh, I almost forgot.
For the fireworks, we have to book online. Could you search for the tower online? She complies, and within a minute, the appropriate phone number is on the screen. Anyway, I need the bathroom real quick, so I'll be back in a second. A date with Yuri under the fireworks? This really does sound like a stereotype. To my surprise, however, Yuri's just standing there, awkwardly twiddling her phone in her hands. Yuri?
Huh?
Did you ring them? I kind of assumed you would. Okie dokie. I know where this is going. Do we choose to do it for her? I kind of assumed you would, given that I went to the bathroom.
No, I haven't.
Well, I know that she struggles with talking to people face to face, but not over the phone as well. I don't want a girl that's so dependent on me. I love independence and a lady. Screw it. I'm gonna encourage her. Do it. You gotta do it. I can't be the man in this, the only man in this. You have to do it too. Hey, I know it's a little bit daunting, but heck, I don't think anyone else talking over the phone to us. I don't think anyone else enjoys talking over the phone to a stranger, but I know you could do this.
Really? I must look so stupid.
You don't. Talk to people is hard for you, so maybe I shouldn't have suggested it.
No, I think you're right. I can do this.
I give her an encouraging smile. Of course you can. She types the number on her phone. You've got this.
Hello, I'd like to book a slot to the Skytree Tower for 2, please.
She looks over at me and I smile and nod in affirmation. The rest of the phone call carries on fairly uneventfully. Aside from the odd stutter, it was pretty much flawless on Yuri's part. See, that wasn't so bad, was it?
I'm not sure. I did stutter a lot.
Nah, it was barely noticeable. Everything sorted?
Yes, we'll get them the money when we arrive.
Sounds good. I know that wasn't easy for you, Yuri, so I want to know that I'm proud of you, okay?
Thank you. I'm glad that I did it as well.
Yay! Brr, it's cold out, isn't it? At least the snow's gone, though. A soft warmth slowly makes its way over my cold hands. I quickly notice where the warmth comes from. A very embarrassed and blushing Yuri. Oh, damn.
You don't mind if do you?
I figured with our combined heat we could survive. She moves to withdraw her hand, but I hold firm. It's okay. Your hands feel really warm, and it's like I like being able to do this with you. I swallowed as tiny beads of sweat form on my forehead. Yuri smiles bashfully, but keeps her hands locked around mine.
I've never held hands with someone before.
What about your parents? That's where...
Well, obviously I've held hands with them, but... I meant more in this kind of sense.
She ain't from Alabama. Oh, of course, this kind of sense. Neither of us knows what it is. But to be honest, this feels nice, so why bother questioning it? Same. A quiet, comfortable silence follows between us. How is it that something as simple and basic as holding someone's hands can make you feel so warm and content inside? This isn't the only new feeling I've had, to be honest. Spending time with you over the past few months has proven to be a novel experience in many ways. How so?
I might sound rather sad.
I tendriously rub my thumb over the back of Yuri's hand. You can say it, Yuri. There's no judgment here.
The feeling of having a friend. Knowing that there's someone out there who actually cares about me and wants to spend time with me. It's something I've never really felt before.
Huh, really? Not even with the other club members?
Oh, I'm friends with the girls, of course. What I was trying to say is that you have a dick.
Well, our friendship feels a lot deeper than the bonds I have with those three.
Also helps that you have a dick. I get along with Natsuki, Sayori, and Monica. We can talk about things, but...
She looks away.
With you, it feels like you truly want to be my friend. I feel like I can count on you, more so than I can count on the others. Not to say that I don't value them or anything.
Nah, I think I know what you're saying. Like, I'm friends with them as well, but I do feel a connection with you that I don't have with the others. Well, until the next playthrough, anyway. Even with Sayori, which is saying something.
You really mean it?
Of course I do. I find it strange that I'm your first, proper friend. I have thought someone like you would have plenty of close friendships.
Someone like me?
Yeah. Someone so kind, so thoughtful, so intelligent, and so interesting. She smiles sadly.
You're too kind, Salty. I just wish those people see me the way you do.
Well, that's their loss. Before I have a chance to pursue that somewhat mysterious sentence any further, Yuri nudges me and points me towards a building.
This is the tower, yes?
Yeah, it is. Let's head inside to pay before we head up. After what felt like a billion flights of steps, we're finally at the top. Yuri is huffing just as much as I am, which makes me chuckle slightly. Looks like we're both as unfit as each other.
Wow. The view from here is incredible.
As I gaze upon the edge, I afford a lovely view of the entire city. The small pinprick of yellow lights contrasts beautiful against the darkness of the sky. Yuri walks over to the edge of the balcony. Her face lights up in awe as she takes in the sight, and honestly, it's hard to tell what's more beautiful. Oh! I take my place next to her and instinctively reach for her hand. The shyness in her face is still indetectable, but a newfound sense of confidence has largely taken its place. Looking over the city with Yuri's hands in mine makes me feel nostalgic in a way. Almost like I'm looking over every memory, every moment, and every event of my life. It's rare that I feel contemplative and reflective, but there's no denying how enjoyable it feels. Getting lost in thought, oddly thinking about anything and everything. It's a mental bliss that resonates perfectly with this girl I'm standing with.
Salty?
Her voice is soft and gentle, as if sensing the ambition of the moment, and began wary to disrupt it.
Do you ever think about all the decisions you made? All the actions you've taken, all the things you've said, all the friendships and bonds you've made?
Sometimes it's not often, but moments like those make me quite reflective.
I like to do the same. All those choices, decisions, and actions, they make us who we are today. Are you happy with the choices you've made?
Right now? Definitely. Are you?
She looks away for a moment. I think it's safe to say that everyone has their regrets, things they could have done differently which would have produced a better result.
Things that they wish they didn't say in an argument, things they wish they told people where they could.
But I think people forget about those things.
But I think people forget about the things they're happy with, the things that never trade for the world.
And
she takes a deep breath.
This moment is definitely one of them.
She scoots closer to me. At this point, our hips are touching, and the effective scent of her perfume waves its way into my nose. Oh, the temptation to just grab her and kiss her right now. I'd do it. I agree 100%, Yuri. There's things I regret too. The past year hasn't been great. What with the divorce and the loneliness. I turn to face her, and the pouring hub. But all that is in the past now. Now I'm up here, holding hands with a beautiful girl, ready to celebrate the new year. An intense blush covers Yuri's face, and she looks away for a moment or two. When she looks back at me, there's a coy smile on her face.
I never knew you were this romantic. Ooh.
We steadily move closer and closer. I can feel her warm breath on my face. Closer, until...
Damn! I thought we got shot.
Those damn school shootings. What is this, America? The loud sound of a firework going off makes us both of us jump. The familiar feeling of disappointment returns, but only for a moment. The intense colors and fervent displays of the first round of fireworks are too good to ignore. Oh, that's cool. I like that art. The one dark sky explodes into life, illuminated by a magnificent display of reds, yellows, greens, and blues, all fighting for dominance in the canvas that is the night sky. As the sounds roar, Yuri slides up to me, resting the back of her head on my neck as she looks up into dazzling display. I just realized, this is New Year's. This mod takes place in 2018. Yeah, you better enjoy this year because the next year after that is gonna suck really fucking hard. Despite the loneliness and brightness of the pyrotechnics, they don't at all feel overwhelming. In a way, it feels like they're out of fireworks. In a way, it feels like they're our fireworks. Our own celebration of not just the new year, but a personal celebration of the newfound relationship between Yuri and I. With the rainbow of colors dancing across an atmosphere, it's hard to believe that the skies were an empty, dark blue just a few moments ago. I can even see the sight in front of me reflecting in Yuri's violet eyes. Another color I could get lost in.
These are breathtaking. I've seen New Year's fireworks before, but only on television, never like this. I feel like I'm up there with them.
I know it's worth the intense cardio to get up here. Which one is your favorite?
Oh, there's so many good choices. I love that little purple one. It's not as big or bold as some of the others, but it's sight to behold on its own right.
I figured you'd say the purple one. Oh, I just realized that's the first time we've ever actually seen our protagonist. So that's what Salty supposedly looks like in this world. It's a good choice. I'm a sucker for a big one, though. The way they shoot up and you know they're going to be a big explosion. Makes the wait worth it. A small firework whizzes by, moving horizontally across the sky. Another whirls by its frantic spiral, shooting a luminous light as it goes. Another takes the form of a shooting star, leaving a glistening trail in its wake.
Oh, did you see that one, Salty? I love how it's meant to emulate a shooting star. It must be so fun to design fireworks, knowing that your creation will awe and amaze people.
There's an almost childlike sense of playfulness in her voice, The kind I'm normally associated with Sayori. It's refreshing to see such pure, innocent joy in her. Eventually, the fireworks starts to wear off with a large, huge explosion. The yellow lights flicker out, leaving the night sky to remain empty once more. Worth it, eh?
Definitely. Oh, Salty, that was perhaps the best way to start off the year.
Thank you for everything. Now that the show is over, we're pretty much back to where we were, back before we were interrupted. With my heart hammering away, my face inches closer and closer to Yuri's, and this time I know full well there won't be anything to get in the way. I close my eyes as I feel warm, soft lips on my own. Mwah, mwah, mwah. The feeling is indescribable. This feels so right. Her pace is slow and passionate, and I'm able to easily match her rhythm. Yuri hums continuously as I hold her hips and pull her closer to me. Her hands are laid around the back of my neck, pulling me into the kiss. I gently rest my hands on her neck. And the side of her face. The softness of her skin matches the softness of her lips. After a while, we eventually break apart. With her face this close to mine, I can see her every eyelash, and more worryingly, the tears that are forming in her eyes. Uh-oh. Yuri, are you okay?
I'm fine. Sorry, that was just a really intense moment for me.
Hey, it's okay. Take your time. It's pretty overwhelming on my end as well. I'm here for you, and I'm not going anywhere. She clings to me a little harder.
Do you really mean that?
Of course I do. Even if we were to show you the part of me that I'm ashamed of, would you still stay with me? Where's this going? Yuri, that's not even a question. Of course I would. I wouldn't leave you for anything.
Thank you. Thank you.
She wraps her arms around me and rests her hands on my chest. I'm a little taken aback, but take the opportunity to plant a kiss on the top of her head. I'm curious though, what exactly does she mean by parts of me that I'm ashamed of? Nah, now's not the time to ask. So, I guess we're boyfriend and girlfriend now, huh?
Yes, I suppose we are.
The new semester's going to be interesting, isn't it?
Yes, most definitely will be.
With a smile, she gently grasps my hand and leads me down towards the door. I don't know, I just think... I wonder if she has a wang. Maybe the voice was actually a good idea. I'm still hardly daring to believe my luck. Yuri actually kissed me. I kissed the boy, and I loved it. I don't know. I must be the luckiest guy in the world. Like, is that gonna be the reveal, the secret? I don't think it would be, but who knows? It's hilarious. I think we'll continue playing for a little bit. I might actually try to finish this. Oh, we're on the new act, so... Act 3, Old Wounds. Everything I touch crumbles down in this imaginary world. How many times have I rebuilt it? Was that blood? Okay. Since this is Act 3... Yeah. We'll keep going for a little while, but I don't think I'll be finishing it. I don't know how big Act 3 is. Act 2 was freaking huge! As my eyes slowly flutter open and the last vestiges of sleep leave my body, I run my hand through my hair, think about how my life is in its current state. Compared to how last January started, it's definitely a lot different. For one, I actually have a girlfriend now. We kissed and it's a given what we like each other so. Why do I feel so a little uneasy? Because she kind of left you with a possible, is it because I still find it hard to believe Yuri likes a guy like me? A clever, gorgeous, sophisticated girl like that? Self-doubt really has a way of eating you up from the inside. There's no point dwelling on it, Salty. She chose you for a reason, okay? Yeah, this year has gone off to a good start, so let's keep it that way. A slow smile creeps on my face as I get out of bed to start my morning routine. It's going to be an interesting year. I noticed that we still have the purple background. I wonder if that's because we chose Yuri. I always thought it was because it was like December or whatever, but might be because we got Yuri. Well, one thing I could do without is the bitter cold. It's always freezing around this time of year. At least I'll have Yuri to warm me up. Her love for snuggling up indoors with a book in hand might just come in handy. And she's also so warm whenever we hug. Really interesting patch of wall, huh? In an attempt to hastily break out of my trance, I make a mental effort to bring myself to focus on the girl in front of me. What? Amy giggles. Come on, this is the first time in a while that I've been early, so I wanted to see the look on Sakura's face. I grin. Lead the way. How was your Christmas break, anyway? Pretty good, yeah. She must have picked up on the happiness in my voice as she bounces on the spot, decidedly. I could tell what her next question is going to be. Did you do it? Oh! And why's that? Well... It's always nice spending Christmas with some friends, you know? There's a mischievous smile on her face that puts me slightly on edge. Especially when those friends are girls, huh? And of course, the mischievous smile on her face is followed by a knowing smirk. Whatever you're trying to say, Emmy. Yuri, salty. Wait, that... I got lost at that. 1 second. What are you trying to say, Emmy? Yuri, salty? Wait, that is her name, right? The girl with the purple hair? Yeah, why? Oh, nothing. I saw you guys together on New Year's Eve, that's all. Well, there goes my hope of being subtle. So tell me everything. Thankfully, I'm spared from telling Amy everything after the classroom door swings open and Sakurai strolls in. After setting down his papers, he returns to address the class. Morning, everyone. Hope you all had a great break. Salty certainly did. I nudged her to the ribs. Oh, and why's that? Come on, brain, think of something. If you could somehow convince a girl like Yuri to like me, you must be capable. It's just, I did a lot of reading on 20th century history, so I'm in a great position to hit the ground running this semester. Sakurai doesn't look entirely convinced, but he nods. Oh, well, I'm sure you'll be able to answer a lot of questions that's coming up then. He chortles and turns to face the blackboard. I glare at Emmy, only to be met with a childlike grin. The 1920s and 1930s, guys. Believe me, there are some interesting years. And just like that, the lesson begun. Sometime later, I find myself wandering down to the club room. As I get close to the door, I spot a familiar figure. A nervous smile works its way onto my face. Good morning, Salty. Morning, Yuri. It's nice to see you again. She smiles shyly. There's no hiding the red blush that creeps up into her face. And you, Salty? There's an awkward silence for a moment. Of course it's a given. Yuri doesn't really know how to take a compliment. Although that part's of what makes her so endearing. Should we go inside then? Don't know about you, but I'm kinda hungry. She looks relieved at the change of topic. Yes, I was just about to suggest that. It's rather convenient timing that we were both let out at the same time, don't you think? That or both of our teachers happen to be hungry. You're the analytic one, so I'll leave you to that. With a small laugh, she opens the door and leads us through. To my surprise, we're the last ones in. Monika and Sayori look deep in conversation about something, while Natsuki has her face firmly hidden behind some manga. The girls look over, well, Monika and Sayori do, give us a brief smile before turning back to their conversations. Should we go over and talk to them? Yuri pauses for a moment as her head briefly goes over to the other club members. She eventually shakes her head. Well, I wouldn't. It seems like they're all engrossed in their own thing. Fair enough. Works for me. We'll take a seat and pull out our food. Unsurprisingly, Yuri's meal looks a lot fancier than mine. I motion towards it. Homemade, I'm guessing. Yes, you can never go wrong with a vegetable stir-fry, paired with rice. The combination of flavor is always satisfying to the taste buds. Yeah, I remember you saying. I don't sound like a broken record, do I? No, not at all. I just remember it because I thought it was really interesting on how food meant so much to you. She doesn't look entirely convinced, but she starts eating nonetheless. A brief silence falls between us. Even though she's looking at her food, I get a shrewd suspicion that her focus is elsewhere. Say, Salty. Have you given much thought to what you want to do after school? Probably go home and watch anime. Why? We briefly make eye contact. Seeing Yuri narrow her eyes, trying to figure out if I was being sarcastic or serious, is strangely enjoyable in a silly sort of way. Eventually she realizes I'm joking and smiles as she shakes her head softly. You know what I mean. Truthfully, I don't really know. It's not really something I've spent a lot of time thinking about, if I'm being honest. I probably should give it some thought, though. I guess it just isn't high on my priority list. My eyes wander over to Sayori and Monica. Sayori looks like she's a little sad about something, while Monica's apparently trying to cheer her up. The sight of them talking makes me feel grateful, but also a little guilty. As much as I enjoy spending time with Yuri, I haven't really seen much of Sayori over the past few months. Still, it's good to know that she has other friends, right? Given how we're only second years, it's understandable. I return my gaze to Yuri. Judging by the look on her face, you probably spent a lot more time than I have on the matter. I suppose you could say that. Let me guess, you want to go to university to study something like Japanese? Well, was I really that obvious? It's just a really fitting pick, that's all. I suppose it is. Imagine you're excited to go. To university? Yes and no, actually. On the one hand, university can be such a stimulating place. The amount of things you can learn while you're there. At high school, you're naturally limited by what your teachers choose to teach. For what I've gathered, you're given much more independence at the undergraduate level. But on the other hand, I've been at school for almost all of my life. To make that jump, especially if I were to go to a new part of the country, well, it definitely involves a lot of anxiety. There's a comfort to be had in routine. I know exactly what to expect. Well, for the most part, with school. Humans naturally dislike change, and as exciting as I think higher education will be, it comes at a cost. And if you're America, it's a big fucking cost. Well, when you put it like that, yeah, I could definitely see what you mean. But I think it's something we all have to go through at some point, right? Even if we just go straight into working after leaving school. My eyes wander over to Natsuki. Her position hasn't changed in the slightest. Man, that manga must be pretty damn good. That or she's dead. That's just the last thing she was doing before she died. Yuri follows my light aside. Her eyes land on Natsuki as well. Given the already thoughtful look on her face, it's hard to tell if her thoughts had changed. Natsuki's only a first year, so I suppose there wouldn't be much sense in having this conversation with her. I don't think my post-school plans have crossed back in my mind when I first got into high school. I don't think my post-school plans had even crossed my mind back when I was first got into high school. What about Sayori? Have you even spoken with her about it? Not really. We only began talking to one another a couple months ago. I catch myself just in time, mentioning that Sayori and I haven't had much time to ourselves because I've spent so much time with Yuri. It just makes Yuri feel bad. Well, I guess there just hasn't been a right time. Besides, she's never really struck me as someone who really gave much thought to her future. Kind of like me. Whereas someone like Monica, well, the impression I get from her is that she's probably got a plan. I chuckle to myself. Remember how my parents used to say that my school years would flash before in the blink of an eye? I've had this conversation with Mom and Dad before. It's a while ago. I think they wanted me to go to university, so I guess our plans aren't too far off. Guessing you had a similar conversation with your parents, right? Yuri?
Yes, I think so.
The vague, uncertain nature to her answer throws me off guard for a moment. But I'm not given much time to push it as Monica suddenly turns to us. Hey, you two. Sorry about not saying hi just now. I was a little preoccupied. It's all good. Everyone seems to be doing their own thing, so I don't think anyone really noticed. You okay, Sayori? You looked a little down when we walked in. Oh, I'm fine. What made you think that? I don't know, guess it just looked like Monica was trying to cheer you up or something. Just how I interpret this situation, that's all. There's nothing wrong, silly. How was your New Year's? I glance towards Yuri. There's a faint blush on her cheeks. Here is really something. The look on Sayori's face goes from quizzical to understanding as she puts two and two together. Oh, Sayori's face, yeah. Ew, you two! You're together, aren't you? I reach out and gently wave Yuri's hand into mine. Yeah, we are. I knew there was something going on between you two. I'm so happy for you guys. Oh, there she goes and kills herself. Sayori's smile is so huge, it's almost bordering on insincere. Great. How great. What's her voice? Crap. That's precisely what this club needs. Lovey-dovey mushy stuff. I'm surprised you even noticed, said mushy stuff with how absorbed in the manga you seem to be. It doesn't block out the sign of people kissing, you know. It sounds like it came from personal experience. She tips her manga down to glare at me. I grin and raise my free hand up in a comedic display of self-defense. To be fair, she has a point. PDAs are a major no-no for me. Don't worry, we'll save all the physical stuff when you guys aren't around. What? Why y'all look at me like that? You never really think before you open your mouth, do you? What do you... The sound of the bell raised ringing cuts my question short. And soon after, the sound is... that's hilarious. The sound of scraping chairs fill the air as everyone starts packing up. Get away! It's only as we're heading towards the door do I realize why what I just said caused so much awkwardness. Oh! No, I didn't mean like that! Guys, no! But Monica, Natsuki, and Sari are already gone. Desperately, I turned to Yuri. You knew what I really meant, right? I awkwardly rubbed the back of my head. Yuri? You know. You're quite endearing when you're flustered. She smiles and heads off. Oh, this game is on. Alrighty. One more effort. One more line, I think. We haven't got any of the dark stuff. I feel like this is going to be the one that we start really learning. Okay. Pop my neck. Okay. It's nice to have a day to myself for once. Seems like it's been a while since I haven't had plans for the weekend. Funny thing, what joining a single club could do to your social life. It's probably an exaggeration on my part, though. I'm just used to staying in the weekend, that whatever I do go out, it's a huge deal in my mind. Let's see, what should I do? I'm so really overwhelmed by the possibilities. Well, guess I could start by brushing my teeth and getting dressed. A fresh minty taste permeates my mouth. Unfortunately, orange juice is out of the question for now. Might as well make another foray into the world of cooking. What was one of the recipes Yuri told me about? Egg rice? It sounds pretty simple back then. Let's see if it actually is. I half-heartedly swill some rice around in a bowl full of water. It's been a while since I cooked rice for myself. I'm just too impatient to wait for it to cook. Let's start. Egg rice is pretty good. The mouthfeel and kind of slimy, but the taste is there. I don't know if I actually cooked it correctly, but how badly could I have messed up such a simple recipe? I might make it again. The next time I'm too lazy to make something more complex. Which is to say, basically every meal. This has to be more healthy than instant meals, though, right? I wonder if Yuri's eating this right now, too. She did say that she eats it for breakfast quite often. It's like the cheesy saying when people are connected by the same moon overhead. But instead of the moon, we're connected by eggy rice. Yuri does wake up way earlier than me, though, so she's probably finished eating by now. Speaking of Yuri, I should probably make some headway on one of the countless books she's recommended to me if I want to be able to keep up with her. Let's see. Hey, the decorations are down. I've only gotten through a few more chapters on the book, but I'm already feeling restless. The plot isn't bad, but the theme seems a bit elusive to me. And it interestingly employs a stream of consciousness style of narration too, that I'm not used to reading. I wonder if Yuri ever gets bored when reading. It's not like she's some inhuman reading machine, so there may be some writers who she dislikes. Knowing her should be the type of person to soldier on and finish the book anyway, despite her feelings towards it. Maybe I should go outside and stretch my legs for a bit, then come back to the book later with fresh eyes. It's the type of winter day outside that's sunny, yet still chilly. The clear, cold sunlight lines up the uniformly gray sky. The kind of sunlight has been reminding me of a bit of a hue of fluorescent light. It makes the air seem strangely crystalline. Unfortunately for me, it's not cold enough to warrant bundling up in a bunch of layers. Just my sweater's enough to keep me comfortable. Some people have crazy cold tolerance, and I'll be able to reach the level of girls who could wear skirts in the freezing weather. Speaking of which, there is a girl in a skirt approaching me. Looks like she's walking her dog. Is that Shiori? I don't remember her voice. Hey, Shiori. I like your pooch. What's up, Salty? I don't know, you've lived this close to me. Oh, is that your house over there? I wouldn't say I live too close by. It's just that I take really long walks. Huh, maybe you should go on a run with Emmy sometime. Ha! As if I'm able to keep up with her. Anyway, it's just that my dog really likes being outside, so I hit 2 birds with 1 stone by getting both me and my dog exercise this way. Isn't that right, Mochi? Mochi barks cheerfully in response, wagging his tail furiously. Mochi, that's a cute name. It matches his look, too. He's really just a huge ball of white fur. Aww. Yep. Samoyeds look kind of like a gigantic blob of white mochi, don't they? I mean, maybe if you squint really hard and have terrible vision. Just don't know how to appreciate dogs or mochi. Oh my god, is this Natsuki too? So are you out of enjoying the sunny day as well? Or are you gonna pop back into your nasty otaku den after this? Oh my god, it's Natsuki. Well, I decided to take a walk. Hey, I do not have a nasty otaku den. I wouldn't even call myself an otaku. Just because a guy dabbles in the occasional anime and manga doesn't mean that he's an otaku. Don't forget the video games. Oh yeah, wait. Don't worry, I won't tell any girls about it. How do you even know what hobbies I'm into? Oh snap. Is she the tsundere or the yandere, the one that stalks you? Look, just because I don't confiscate the manga you read in class doesn't mean I don't notice it. Okay, I get it. You should be thankful you have such a chill class rep. Otherwise, next time you swap manga with your buddies, you might find yourself in huge trouble. Says the girl who wildly modifies her uniform. And just so you know, the girl I hang out with don't mind those things. Or at least I don't think so. I'm just teasing you, Salty. Yeah. Do you have cram school or something after this? I assume that's why you're wearing your uniform out on Sunday. Nah, it's just a habit from my old school. I used to go to this really prestigious private school that required everyone to wear their uniforms outside. Like every high school student wears their uniform when they go to academic-related things like cram school. But we have to wear our uniforms when we were just hanging out outside of school too. Something about holding ourselves accountable for our conduct both in and out of school. Sounds suffocating. No kidding. The headmaster had a giant stick up his butt. So are you overcompensating with your current uniform then? Making up for all those years you couldn't customize your uniform? Heh, let's just say I'm glad the rules are less strict at our school. What's she really modifying that I've noticed? She has a tie. Did all the girls have a tie? I don't know. Mochi suddenly barks and tugs at her leash, causing Shiori to stumble a bit. Oh, okay, Mochi. Looks like he wants to get going now. I'll see you at school, Salty. Hey, see ya. Mochi runs off with struggling Shiori in tow. It's as if Shiori is the one being walked by the dog. Well, I should probably head back to finishing my book anyhow. It's night by the time I flip over to the last page of the novel and snap the cover shut. Should you have talked to Yuri, at least said hi? I don't think you're supposed to ignore your girlfriend. That one book down, 1 billion more to go. Are you proud of me yet, Yuri? I'm out to contemplate rewarding myself by binging an anime series when my cell phone rings. Speak of the devil, it's Yuri. I'm guessing that she's not calling to praise me on my literature accomplishment. Hey Yuri, what's up?
Hello, Salty.
Just calling to say hi.
Oh, yes, I suppose. Am I interrupting something? I hope I'm not bothering you.
Nah, don't worry, you're all good. I just finished one of the books you recommended me.
Oh, which one?
It was that translated story about the thief who gets released from jail and becomes obsessed with people who put him there.
And how did you like it?
I think I liked it overall, but it's kind of made me feel a little depressed too.
How so?
Well, the protagonist definitely isn't totally moral himself. I mean, he's a thief and ends up killing people by the end. but I couldn't help sympathize with him. He lost everything while in jail, even his family, and just couldn't find his way back into society.
Is it true that he absolutely couldn't help but slip back into the old ways, though?
I guess not. He did have a mentor who gave him shelter and advice. Still, I found myself agreeing with him when he started to become a sort of anarchist revolutionary.
I suppose you commiserated with the lack of justice from the protagonist's point of view.
Yeah, I did. Like, how ironic the ending was. The main character spent the whole book calling his enemies traitors and dogs, but in the end gets killed by police dogs. Well, spoilers. I think that I would agree with you on the story being a rather melancholic one. It's quite the existential bit of literature. However, I do disagree with the protagonist's actions myself. The way I see it, the main character's life is unfair in some aspects. He also uses his anger and anarchist ideas to hide his own flawed character. After all, these stories employ first-personal narrative and streams of consciousness, so there's an element of unreliable narration there. That's true. He did try justifying some pretty bad things.
But in the end, death is the great equalizer.
Just as the protagonist dies, so shall his supposed enemies. It makes you think about the futility of life. Yeah. I don't really know what I'm supposed to say to that. Man, what a depressing turn this conversation takes. Do you think that the main character could have changed, though? I mean, if you were a real person or something?
Well, it's not as though people are locked into certain personalities and dispositions at birth. I believe that people's experience can deeply change how they see the world. The main character certainly has the ability to change.
But all the events that happened to him caused him to become misanthropic and embittered. I'd agree with that. This kind of touches on the natures versus nurture debate too, right? Nature versus nurture, one of the best questions regarding the human condition. I'm declined to focus on how many people and environment affects them rather than what they genetically disposition to do myself. So much talking. That's one of the reasons why I love reading people, both real and fictional stories, so much. You get to see how the character developed through all the conflicts they endure. It's almost like a parent watching their child grow, but sped up to fit in a few hours it would take you to read the book. It might only take you a few hours, but it probably took me much longer than that. It doesn't seem to take a long time when you become completely absorbed by the story. What's amazing about literature is that it can even make you sympathetic with despicable people by showing you how their mindsets are wrapped up by their own experiences. But how do you know so much of a person's personality can be attributed to nature or nurture? There's no real way you can measure that kind of thing. Oh, good point. What if your brain is wired in a way that makes you more likely to enjoy things like literature and tea? Maybe dopamine gets released in my brain in a different way than it does maybe dopamine gets released in your brain in a different way than it does in mine. Just an example, though. I'm no neuroscientist.
Perhaps how much is the wrong question.
It may be more accurate to ask something along the lines of how nature and nurture interact. Anyway, I'm glad you enjoyed the novel. I may be spending more recommendations your way soon. Hold on, I still have a long list of books to go. Thanks for giving me all these recommendations, though. It really helped me ease me back into the literary world. Well, if you count the children's book I read as a kid as part of the literary world.
Of course, Salty. I've always happened to share my love for literature with others.
I could practically hear the smile in her voice. You know, this is actually the first time today that I picked up my phone to use.
Do you call people often, then?
Nah, I'm gonna mostly use it to play games and read random posts online. Today's been really quiet for me, though, in a good way. All I did was cook, read, and go for a walk. I won't talk to you.
That sounds like a lovely day, Salty.
Quite similar to mine, actually. Seems like you're really rubbing off on me. We laughed together a bit, the gentle moments with Yuri. I wish they could last forever.
I hope that's a good thing.
Are you kidding me? Of course it is. My mom would kill for a daughter like you. I realized too late what I just implied. Good one, Salty. You're probably gonna hang out for the embarrassment now, with how shy she is. I mean, you definitely have better grades than me and stuff.
I'm sure you're simply doubting yourself. Anyway, it's getting a bit late now, so...
Yeah, well, I'll talk to you later.
See you in school, Salty.
See ya. Smooth, Salty, smooth. Ruh-roh, did we just cause an issue? Should I keep going? I think we're gonna call it today. Hope you all are enjoying this. We're running out of safe spaces, but okay. I'll hope you all had a Merry Christmas, and I hope you all have a great year. I'll talk to you all next year. See ya.